This was the first time that I ever saw the original intro, I mean in Japanese, and let me tell you that it is way better in Spanish. It's not even about the lyrics because it says the same and I like Japanese, but the melody changed. The song is just not the same when Heidi and Peter dance in the meadow. It's not the same, and I don't like it. Oshiete! Heidi is a 5 years old kid who lives with her aunt Dete, who decides that it's time to leave her in charge of her grandfather, I mean Heidi's grandfather, because she got an important job in Frankfurt and cannot take care of her anymore, nor she can take her with her. After a free ride, Dete drags Heidi to the mountains. I honestly think that it will be easier if she just, I don't know, drag her through the floor. I think she will go faster that way. Just look at her, she's about to fly. Now Heidi has a long leg, but it doesn't matter, or that's what it seems like. But when she falls, Dede pities her and comforts her, saying that Dorothy is just a little bit further. Already in the village, Dede met some of her old neighbors who knows Heidi as Aderhaisa's daughter, and they are completely against the idea of her staying in her grandfather's house, and they talk about him as the worst person ever, like if he will be an ogre. No offense to Shark, please, but why they think this way about him? Well, because he doesn't attend to court, so he's a terrible man, apparently. I guess that they really didn't talk that bad about him, and the neighbors really didn't know him as well, because if that would be the case, you wouldn't leave your niece there, no matter how much important is the job, right? I guess that despite his temperament, I think she knows that he's not a bad man. I hope so. Dete begins to drag Heidi once again, and we got this weird shot. Oh my god, it's so funny. What's wrong with his teeth? And why is he so angry? And seems like it's not over for Heidi because the kid runs over her, which ends on the little Heidi slump on the floor. She's going on a lot of damage for the first day. It would be nice if she survives in the future, you know? I bet that Dete has a sign on her back for this woman to recognize her from that distance. Heidi decides that it's a good idea to follow this kid and he's hurt despite not knowing him, but it's not her fault at all because
それあんたの子やに違うよ
Heidi dies momentarily, and after I don't know how many times, Dete realized that she wasn't behind. Luckily for her, Heidi was visible or she should have to make a tour for the meadows. Also, the woman say that she's with Peter, so you know, it's fine, it's all alright. After all, he takes care of the goat. What difference will make a kid? She acts like a goat herself. And according to Dete, Heidi can take care of herself very well. A 5 years old kid wandering around an unknown place is nothing dangerous at all. She even has a 7 years old kid with her. What more safe feeling than that?
でもね相手があるもんじじゃそれでは済まされないね大きい声じゃ言えないけど若い頃人殺しをしたっていうじゃないか
And that's the man you're leaving her with? She thinks that it's time to free her inner self, so she begins to undress. She even takes off her iconic dress and they run at the beat of Oji-san. They click here, I swear, friendship goals. It turns out that Peter is the goatherd of the village and he takes them out for a while. Wait, hold on! 11? How is he 11? Isn't he 7? I always thought that he and Clara were the same age. Then... oh no. After some random moments, they arrive at Oji-san's house. The grandfather is not really happy with the meddling and Peter earns tremendous scolding just because he was there. But Dete throws a verbal vomit saying that it was her time to live alive. And as well as she has to take care of Heidi by her own for 4 years, Now she was thinking about herself, and he as well has a responsibility over the kid because he is, after all, her grandfather. Then he frowns, and that's how we'll see him the whole anime. But he stands up, claiming Dete to live forever and ever come back. Something we know that will happen in the future. It's so funny for me when they just suddenly run.
さて、これからどうするつもりだな。
And that's it. That's the first chapter. Now that I think about it, this grandfather is more genial than the one they made around 2015. I remember that in that version he left her sleeping with a goat, which is very unhuman, and if I'm not wrong, he either gave her food or something like that happened. I don't know. I don't want to check it out. Heidi is such a nostalgic anime for me. I watched for the first time when I was like 11 during summer. It feels like yesterday, honestly. I don't know where the time goes. I was off at school. I remember that I finished primary school by then and I was pretty alone. I remember that summer of 2016. I remember that summer of 2016 being all alone close on my house. But I have this incredible time watching Heidi. My mom brought me the CD with all the chapters. We didn't have Wi Fi then, and I loved it. It was a time full of happiness for me because I used to just think what was going to happen next. Heidi is for kids? Yeah, it is, with its darker parts, but it's for kids. There's not this storyline well defined until the second part of the story, but at the beginning it's this chapter of Heidi living her life in the Swift Alps together with Peter, Snowflake, Ohashi, and Joseph, who in this side of the world we know as what in English will be fog. And it's very funny. I don't know. I didn't know they changed his name. It's really it's I don't know who's playing off. Who's playing off? And finally it is very funny. I don't know. Just the long silence moments make my day. Or when they run. Or when or just the dialogue. The dialogue is pretty creative. I laugh a lot sometimes. There are just some random moments that you don't understand what's going on, but you just enjoy them a lot. I love Heidi, and it will always be this warm memory of the anime that made me happy on 2016 summer. Oh shit!